Let's dive into a question that honestly shapes so much of how we see ourselves. Are our emotions a weakness we're supposed to conquer? Or are they actually a strength we should be harnessing?
I mean, come on, you've heard this, right? It's that classic piece of advice you get when you're feeling down, or anxious, or just overwhelmed. Just be strong, toughen up, don't be so emotional. And look, it probably comes from a good place, but it sends this really powerful hidden message.
And that message is that your feelings, they're the problem. There's something you need to shove down, to hide, to just get over. It basically turns our own inner world into this battlefield where our emotions are the bad guys we have to defeat to be seen as strong.
So let's unpack this. Let's really get into this super common, very modern idea, this myth that feeling things somehow makes you weak.
And this is what we do because of that myth, right? We're taught that real strength means you don't show your feelings, maybe you don't even have them. So we suppress them. We bottle them up, push them aside, slap on a brave face, and we do all of this chasing some idea of what it means to be strong.
But here's the thing, that strategy has a real cost. A huge one, actually. It costs us our mental health, it can damage our relationships, it messes with our decisions. I mean, think about it. All that anxiety you bottle up doesn't just disappear. It can turn into chronic stress. And that frustration you don't talk about in a relationship, it can build into this giant wall of resentment. So this brings us to the big mistake in all this, and a much, much better alternative.
Okay, so you can see there are two totally different paths here. On one side, you have the mistake, suppression, just pushing feelings away because we think they're a weakness. But the counterpoint, the other path, is all about intelligence. It's about practicing emotional awareness, actually acknowledging what we feel and then guiding it instead of fighting it. See? It's not about weakness versus strength, it's about skill.
And that leads to the big question, the real turning point here. What if this whole way of thinking, that pushing our emotions down makes us strong, what if it's completely backwards? What if trying to crush our feelings is the very thing that's actually making us weaker?
Well, the answer is a much more powerful way of doing things. It's a concept that completely flips that old myth on its head, and it's called emotional intelligence. So what is it exactly? Emotional intelligence isn't about not having feelings. It's the total opposite. It's the active practice of noticing what you feel, making smart choices about how to guide those feelings, and then using all that insight to connect with and understand other people. Okay, that sounds great, right? But it's kind of theoretical. So how do we actually do it? Let's take this idea and turn it into some simple, practical steps you can actually use.
It all boils down to this really simple three-step framework. Just remember, acknowledge, guide, and empathize. Think of it like a toolkit for working with your emotions, not fighting against them. Let's look at each one.
All right, first up, acknowledge. This is the bedrock, the foundation for everything else. It's really just about pausing for a second and noticing what's going on inside you. You're not judging it, you're not trying to fix it, you're just naming it. Just saying to yourself, okay, I'm feeling pretty anxious right now. Or, wow, I'm feeling really frustrated. That simple act gives you a little bit of breathing room and stops the feeling from just taking over completely.
Step 2 is guide. So once you've acknowledged the feeling, you get to a fork in the road. You can either react blindly, just let the emotion run the show, or you can choose to respond wisely. Guiding an emotion just means asking yourself, okay, I feel this way. What's a constructive thing I can do about it? It puts you right back in the driver's seat.
And finally, we have empathize. This is where we take all that understanding we've built for ourselves and turn it outward. Because when we get good at understanding our own feelings, we get so much better at recognizing and connecting with what other people are feeling. This is the absolute key to better relationships, better teamwork, you name it. So, after all this, where are we? Well, we landed a totally new definition of strength. It's about reframing where our power actually comes from.
And this, right here, is the biggest takeaway. Real, true strength isn't some empty fortress with no feelings inside. It's having the intelligence, the skill to work with your emotions, to treat them like allies. Now that is real power.
So, we'll leave you with this thought. Instead of seeing your feelings as all this messy, inconvenient drama, what if you started treating them as data? Just pure information telling you what you care about, what you need, and what's really going on under the surface. Just think about it. What could you unlock in your own life if you made that one simple shift?